who is the manager of this one.
You have the keys to the...
She's very special to close the door.
Our host today is...
Okay, thanks. No. Okay, good. Okay, so you can take the word.
Would you like to say a few words as the host?
Okay, please come here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Should I just say it here? Or?
Yeah, you can come forward if you don't mind.
This way, is that okay?
The chicken.
Should I?
Yes, please.
Sit or?
No, stand.
Hi. Nice to meet you. I'm really honored to be here. My name is Lisa, and I will be your host tonight. So if there's anything you need, you can come to me, and I will take care of it. Yes, this is my favorite place in the world, Yoga Center. I just graduated as a yoga teacher, so now I'm just really inspired and looking forward for tonight. So welcome all.
Please welcome. Me?
What is it?
Hello, hi. Hi, so beautiful faces. Again, nice to see you again. What can I say? I'm very new in Krishna, so only thing I can say that I have done probably all stupid things as was possible.
It's not so close so you don't get to...
And I could not find the happiness, like open all the doors possible, was doing, the girlfriends, drugs, bars, clubs, money making, everything stupid, all possible stupid to do, and I could not find it. No one could tell me where the happiness is, I was like, sometimes I was crying about a dog, Chihuahua. We've been crying together, so it could be better to cry, So I could not find happiness, And yeah, friends, just by friends of friends, I came to Gurudev, and now I see smiling my face, probably, I think much better. And thanks to all the Krishna guys and all the devotees, and that was amazing. It was pretty fast, That was amazing. It was pretty fast. I came from very bottom, because some people were saying that you need to meditate like 30 years, and it was not. Especially in the field of Gurudev and the devotees, and especially, and all of you, it took me from very bottom. I was like black, probably. I was not the happiest person in the world, And it took me like maybe 3 years, From here. And yeah, it's just like, it's miracles.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I'd like to offer my unlimited mantra pranams to my spiritual master Nitya Liberation Mishrapada Statara Sri Srimad Bhagavad-gita Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and to the lotus feet of Srila Bhaktivedanta Vana Goswami Maharaj, who is present here with us today, and to all my brothers and sisters who have come again and who are new to the first time to our assembly. I would like to offer my respects to you all. So we are in the presence of Srila Bhaktivedanta Vana Goswami Maharaj, who has been traveling the world for the last 25 years, spreading this message of love. And just briefly to recap on what he said yesterday, to keep speed with what he may speak about today, is that our identity, he was talking about what is our identity. He was asking the question, who am I? right? Sometimes we ask these questions to ourselves, and a very important question. And we know many people who don't ask this question and just pass it by. They forget, or it's probably too much of a question to ask actually, because there are so many possibilities. So the possibilities are that you are, of course, related to your mother and father, you're the brother or sister within a family, and your identity is with that family. But then you think wider also, then you see that you're different from your brother and sister, and you're different from your father, and you're different from everybody else, and you are unique. You are an individual, you are special. And this makes us wonder again, what is special about me? Why am I different from anybody else? You know, what makes me who I am? So Maharaj was asking this question, and leading us to the point that we are not this body. So we may say that I'm a man or woman, or we may say many other different things, but when we look at ourselves, we are a spirit soul. The external is the body. The internal is something else. And we spoke about the commonality of the soul between all souls, and what connects us to each other is this divine love, divine connection. And Maharaj gave the example of a house. And you're saying when you think of your house, it's your house, you don't say, I house. You are not the house. You live in the house. You are not the house. In the same way, you are not this body. You live within the body. The body is the shelter. Yeah? But when you leave the body, we say you're pronounced dead. You have left the body. The soul has gone. The soul that resides in the body is left, and so the body is there. Then Maharaj expanded on that by saying that nobody's interested in a dead body anymore. You cannot do anything with a dead body except to take it to the cremation ground or a burial ground. You cannot have a relationship with a dead body. So what is it that actually we love in each other? And he came to the conclusion it is the life within the body that we love. But we misidentify with that life with the body. So we become attached to the body of the person rather than the life of the body, the life that resides in the body. So this is a very important difference in spiritual life, the difference between matter and spirit. Yeah? That which is inert, that doesn't move or feel, has no willing, has no desire, we cannot have a relationship with. So in this material world we have many relationships. We try to have many relationships, but we often find that they're not successful. Why? Because we base those relationships on the body, the bodily identification, the external appearance, or likes or dislikes, or preferences, or habits, or interests. But when the time goes on, you find that those interests change, and you change, and so the relationship doesn't work anymore, and you have to move on. You can't stay in that relationship. So we say there is love in this world, but that love is temporary. You know, it's not eternal. And what we're really looking for is that eternal love, that eternal happiness. And this process of bhakti yoga is to do with that eternal connection. And we are here in the yoga studio where a lot of mantras are being chanted, and we reflected on that yesterday, how important mantras are to connect us to that soul and the super soul. We gave the example of the atma residing in the heart and the param atma. The atma within you is small, but the supreme atma, the param atma, is great, it's vast, it's all-knowing, it's inconceivable, it's omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, and it can be in touch with all the living entities around the world, all at the same time, and in a very wonderful way. And we forget that, and that's why we have so much strife, and we have so much trouble in this world, and we have so many conflicts, and very easily we get annoyed with each other, or we fall out with each other, and we lose this harmony, and we lose this love that we should have and remember. So this mantra is to help us to keep in contact, in touch with that Supreme Lord, with that origin of our existence. Yeah? So we say often, the life comes from life. You know, we do not come from matter. We do not come from a chemical explosion that we are, in some people, scientists, they speculate on that we came from. If it was true, why have they not been able to replicate it? To create matter from, to create life from an inert object, inert chemicals. Those chemicals, if they have life in them. Yeah? So we have to be careful how we carry ourselves forward in the days to come, in our life from now to wherever we're going, whatever we're doing. We have a goal, we have a purpose, we have a meaning, and our goal and purpose here is to share this knowledge that is very ancient, and we hope that you will take something away with you, and particularly that we hope you will take this mantra away with you and see how it affects. Maharaj also gave us some homework yesterday. He told us to go home after the session and go in a quiet room to close our eyes and to reflect on who we are in a deep way. And once we ask that question, the answer will come. The inspiration is already there in the heart. It just needs to be cultivated. It needs to be watered with hearing and chanting and associating with like-minded people. As you know, you would become like the people you associate with, or you pick up habits from those kind of people. So it's always very important to keep good company, to keep good habits, and to promote your spiritual life as far as you can take it. So I stop there. There's so many more things to say.
Please speak for a while.
Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namashistamano api Sajiputram Sarupam Rupam Tasyam Garam Marumparim Maturim Gostavatim Radhagirim Garamaro Radhika Madhavasam Praptayasha Prititasi Guru Tamnatosmi Namaste Gurudevaya Sarvasiddhi Pradayine Sarvamangala Rupaya Sarvasiddhi Pradayine Om Guru Privachiram Pangam Laite Girim Yat Kripataham Sri Guru Dinataranam. I want to pay my respectful obeisance to my Sri Guru Srila Gurudeva Bhaktivedanta Maharaja. And I want to thank all the other guests who is coming here. My respectful obeisance to you also. What is love? When I started to chant a couple of years ago, I know in my mind what love is. You know, we have to give. Love is giving. It's not taking, eh? Because in a relationship, is it nice to have a present or to give a present? Is it nice to give a present or to give? Yeah, giving. Love is to receive. So yes, love is giving. We have to give love. But it's very difficult, you know, because in this world we have a lot of expectations, and it's difficult when we have when someone is doing not so nice things, you know, and are arguing with us. Then we want to level with them, so we also get mad and we do the same thing. But this mantra, this maha-mantra, is teaching us to be humble, you know. When we have a fight with someone, you do like, oh, someone is arguing with you, you know. So you say, oh yeah, and then we argue more, you know, and then the discussion comes more and more. But if we, this mantra reveals a lot of things, you know. It's a voice in our heart. Yesterday I also talked about this. This mantra reveals a lot of things and gives really intelligence, and it gives our relationships with the Supreme God. And this voice is telling us to be humble. And if we do in this discussion, if we, when someone is arguing, then I experience also, I have to learn a lot, but my wife is also there, when I try to practice also, And sometimes I try to not get mad, you know, then I'm doing like this. Try, because I'm try. But it works, you know. If we want to be humble, then we do. No, I'm not arguing. Do a little bit this, and then a person, they have to do like, you know, why? Maybe sometimes they can make 2 times angry, but if you stay humble and, you know, calm, then the person is thinking, oh, why do I have to yell? Why do I have to argue? Why do I have to? Because you are giving. You are saying, hey, I understand you. I want to give love, and I watch to myself and I think about things, you know. And this mantra reveals so much things. This is just a small thing that I can tell what this mantra can give to you. So I hope you all want to chant this mantra. Maybe we can chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay, please stay. Oh. Yeah.
Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Sadalaya Krishna Krishna Bhattaya Tabbhattaya Namo Namaha Vanchakalpatarabhisya Kripasindhu Vyaleja Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. First of all, I would like to pay my humble obeisances to the lotus feet of my spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Asutra Srimad Bhagavad-gita Maharaja. Simultaneously, I also want to pay my humble obeisances to the lotus feet of Nichilila Pravishta Vishnupad Asutra Srimad Bhagavad-gita Maharaja and to Srila Ramaswami Maharaj. Also, I want to pay my humble obeisances to everybody here present today. Thank you all very much for coming. Nice to see so many new faces too, because you all feel very inspired to come today, so that gives much happiness to us, but also to my spiritual master, because this is the whole reason why he came all the way from India to Iceland for the very first time. So we are all searching for happiness, right? And how to find happiness, because we just heard that some people are starting from the bottom. They don't find happiness. They're searching for a lot of places and do things, many things, and still cannot find happiness. Also for me it was the same. Actually, I didn't realize that I wasn't happy. You know, I thought I was happy. I had everything. I had a nice house, nice car. I was my husband, and
Okay.
But still, there was something missing out. Like, who am I? Finding to look within myself and try to figure out who am I? Why am in this material world came here? What is my purpose on this material place? So then, mercifully, our Gurudev came to Holland. I'm from Holland, and Holy Land, as it is said. And our spiritual master, he is like really kind-hearted and really sweet. His very sweet mood, also his inspiring words, and it also, his words and his reflection also reflects on us. So when you hear from him, when you see him, you feel happiness already in your heart. It's true. And by the mercy of my Gurudev, under his guidance, we are chanting also this maha-mantra. We just recited, everybody was reciting this maha-mantra. And this maha-mantra is giving the happiness too. You know, it cleans out all the unwanting things from your heart. And like my husband also was saying, you know, sometimes we're in an angry mood and sometimes we're in a loving mood. But yeah, still when we try to chant the holy names, the maha-mantra, then we can be peaceful. We can try to find happiness in the maha-mantra because we are cleaning our hearts. So, yeah, I will stop now. So thank you all again for coming today, and hope to see you all very soon again.
Okay, stay.
Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I pay my respectful obeisances to my Srila Gurudev Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vana Goswami Maharaj, and to Param Gurudev Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj and Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, and all the Vaishnavas, all the devotees, and all who are present here today. What is maha-mantra? Why this is so special to chant sacred sound? So there are two types of sounds in this world. One kind of sound is material sound, and another kind of sound is spiritual sound. So what's the difference? Material sound is everything we hear every day, like when we speak, like mundane things, not only mundane, but even beautiful music. It's also material sound. When we laugh, we cry. It's also material sound. So it has this material energy. While spiritual sound is completely different by nature. It comes from spiritual abode, and it has so much potency inside. So those sounds who are prescribed in the scriptures as mantras, they have special spiritual potency inside. And while material sound affects our material body, so spiritual sound affects our subtle body and our soul. So when we listen to spiritual vibration, when we chant mantra, when we chant this maha-mantra, which we chant as Hare Krishna maha-mantra, it's very, very powerful because it pervades all the layers of our body. So our body has not only this gross body which we see, but it has many, many layers. Those who study yoga, you may know, there are different centers and a subtle body as well. But the most subtle of all is soul. And the soul is very, very small and minute. It's inside our heart, the most subtle substance. So when we chant spiritual sound, mantra, it goes through our ears and pervades all the layers of our subtle body, and then it reaches our soul. So it's the best food for our soul, because in the same way as we eat, we need the food every day to maintain our body, to be healthy. In the same way, we need food for our soul, we need spiritual food. But one mistake people make, that people forget to feed their soul. They eat very nice food, very nutritious things. Many people nowadays are vegetarian or vegan. They try to be conscious about their food, but they forget to feed their soul, which is the most important. So actually spirituality is the most important, and it's not enough only to live healthy or to be a good person. For example, if we are vegetarian or vegan, but we do not follow spiritual path, it's useless, because, for example, some animals also eat only grass, like cow. They eat grass, they are very nice, they are very friendly to environment, not using any waste, just eating grass. So this is not an achievement. Achievement is to advance spiritually, and especially to practice bhakti yoga, because bhakti yoga is the highest process. So there are different types of yogas described in the scriptures and the Vedas. So there's karma yoga, so people do different pious activities to get results, for example, giving charity. There is jnana yoga, so many people try to acquire knowledge and reach higher consciousness by that. There are also ashtanga yoga, where through different positions of the body, we can achieve higher realm of life, of consciousness. And of all of these yogas, it's explained in the ancient Indian scriptures that the Bhakti Yoga is the topmost, because it's the essence of all the yogas. So what's the meaning of yoga? It's connection. So with whom we want to connect? With the supreme entity and God. So God has many names in different traditions, but all the yogas, they try to achieve that. So Bhakti Yoga embodies that essence, the goal. So, and the main practice of Bhakti Yoga is chanting of this spiritual sound, mantra. So what we're doing today. Yes, so thank you very much. Oh, yes, and the most important food is the food for the soul, but at the evening time we'll have very nice food for the body also. We have a vegetarian feast and we made so many nice preparations, so it will be nice. Yeah, please stay. Don't miss the opportunity to have this nice prashadam.
Om Agena Dinananga Sevinanjana Shalataya Chakshurun Tamyana Tasmai Shigurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Gorakrashtaya Bhutare Shishima Bhaktivedanta Vana Idyanamini. I am paying my humble obeisances to my beloved Srila, to my spiritual master Shishipad Bhaktivedanta Vana Goswami Maharaj, and to all Shri Guru Parampara, and to all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, and to all brothers and sisters, and all the guests. So I was searching for my best friend lots of years. And who is our best friend? Scriptures are saying that our best friend is the one who can bring and is bringing us to Godhead, where we can get unlimited enjoyment, which is real happiness. And the straight way is chanting maha-mantra, the straight way to Godhead. This maha-mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And I've got this maha-mantra and japamala from my best friend, my Srila Gurudeva, who is very taking care, and really my life very changed. And I am in loan to my spiritual master. He's every day like remembering to me, Jeev Jago, hey, wake up, sleeping soul, wake up. And he gave this maha-mantra, the best medicine from all material disease. And by causeless mercy of my spiritual master, every day, step by step, I am trying to overcome the death.
Magena Timiranda Sarganam Jana Shalakaya Chakshuramitam Jana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Gora Prestaya Bhutale Srimad Bhagavad-gita Vana Goswami Namini Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikai Priyatmane Srimad Bhagavad-gita Narayana Namini Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimad Bhagavad-gita Swamini Namini. So first I would like to offer my obeisances to my spiritual master here present, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vana Goswami Maharaj, to all Rupa Nuga Guru Varga, all the Vaishnavas here present, and also to our dear guests here. So there is a very nice story that explains how the living entity, they are looking for happiness in this world. So once there was this man that he was walking in the forest, and suddenly a tiger, he appears. So this man, of course, he became so much scared and started to run away from this tiger. And what he sees a well. And then he tries to escape from this tiger. And then he jumps in this well and he grabs a branch of a tree that was leaning on top of this well. And then he was there like holding that branch, and the tiger is rowing, is like nearby this tree, and he's so much afraid. And then he looked down at the well. The well is completely empty and full of snakes. And then when he looks at the branches, there are two mice. They are what's it called? Biting. Yeah, biting the branch. So one, it's a black mouse, and the other one is a white mouse. And then in the middle of this completely madness of everything going wrongly, what he sees what's called a honey beehive. Yeah, he sees a beehive on top of his head, and he sees small drops of honey, like dripping, and then he starts to think, oh, everything's going wrong, so I might at least like feel some sweetness in this, in the middle of this so much trouble. So he tries to reach, like leaning against, trying to get this honey, but he's not being able to catch it, and trying to get this small drop of honey to somehow alleviate him from this so much painful and stressful situation. And what happened? He suddenly fell down and died, because the time was passed by. The mice, they completely chewed the branch, and he fell down. So what is the meaning of this story? The tiger, it represents the death itself. So death is running after us. So we are trying to get away from death, but we cannot escape. The snakes on the bottom of this well is like this. They are the disease that it's always coming to us. And the mice, they represent the day and the night. And what day and night are doing, they are getting diminishing our life. Every day is passing by. It's one day less of life that we have. And what is this honey? This honey represents this material happiness, which is very temporary. It's just something that cannot solve your problem. Drinking this honey will not make the tiger go away, will not make these snakes go away, and not even stop the mice from chewing this branch. So we come here today to hear about how to really achieve a real happiness, because this material happiness cannot lead to anything besides just more trouble, because it's just a small sprinkle of happiness that leads to much more troubles. So it's so I hope everyone open your ears and try to really bring this knowledge to your heart, so you can really be happy.
Okay, you speak.
Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Vanshakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Rasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, to offer my most humble obeisances at the lotus feet of my dear most Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, and the same obeisances to all our Rupanuga Guru Varga, and my most humble obeisances at the lotus feet of my Shiksha Guru here present, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vana Goswami Maharaj, as well as to all my God brothers and sisters, and to all of you present today, dear guests who have come to share this beautiful moment with us. So I was thinking of sharing something of my personal journey with you, because it can be interesting, isn't it, sometimes to hear others' personal journey. 20 years ago, I was in a situation that was quite intense. As Maharaja had been quoting yesterday, that once the soul has left the body, nobody wants to associate with a dead body, what is left there. So I was called to assist my sister at that time, who was sick, but she didn't tell it to anybody, because she was thinking that she could get over this sickness, but unfortunately the time was running for her, and the time was there for her to leave her body. So when I came to her, it was 2 hours before she departed. So it was a very intense situation, very traumatic at that time. But it was also for me a waking up call. I really understood that I could not waste my time anymore in this world, because we had in common with her this search for the absolute truth, to the question of life, why I'm in this world, what is the meaning of life, and how can I make my life successful? How can I come out from this mood of ignorance, going from one suffering situation to another, a little drop of honey sometimes, but still so much suffering there. And this is really the result of being under the control of the influence of the mode of material nature, and especially ignorance. So at that time I had this strong prayer in my heart, and I wanted really to find the answers that both my sister and myself had, and I felt that I had to continue this mission. So through those prayers, this intense prayer, a few months later, I met the devotees in my life, and especially I met Srila Bhaktivedanta Vana Goswami Maharaj. And when I heard his Harikatha, my heart was completely melting by his sweetness, his love and affection, because like we said earlier, we have all this in common, this quest for love, this true love that the heart is so much hungry for it. And we get so many disappointments, so much suffering, that our hearts closed up a little bit, isn't it? We are very much afraid to open our hearts again and to give our confidence in our relationship. But the Vaishnava, they are so extraordinary from their heart. It's like a river of pure love that is flowing through their words, through their harikatha, through their glance, so that everything that comes from them is so fully saturated of love and affection. So a few months later, my Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, came to France for the last time, and Maharaj very kindly invited me to come and to meet with him. And at that time I remember that our Guru Maharaj was giving a very beautiful explanation about this path of Bhakti Yoga, and he said something very extraordinary. He was saying, and this, like this painting there, looks like much the water and the light coming, something very effulgent. So he was saying, I'm standing at the shore of the ocean of prayer, meaning of pure love. He was saying, from the sky, a breeze is coming, and this breeze is completely saturated with tiny droplets of pure love. And he was saying, and I want all of you to come with me to the shore of that ocean, and in this way you will make your life successful. So what he was speaking was very high philosophy, but this really deeply touched my heart, like a print in the heart, something that you will never forget. And I feel that through this experience, that Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj is taking us to the shore of this same ocean of pure love, and is traveling all over the world to make us happy, to make our lives successful, and is completely dedicated to this mission of pure love. Like Prabhu said earlier, love has nothing to take but everything to give. So that's why we are all here today, to connect more deeply with this path of pure love and affection, and to receive this deep impression in our heart. Thank you so much.
Okay, sing please.
Sing with Mama. Wait, how long for?
2 weeks.
2 minutes.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So first of all, offer my humble, respectful obeisances. Lotus feet of my Guru Pad Padma, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtutara Satasya Srimad Bhakti-vedanta Srila Goswami Maharaj, and Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtutara Satasya Srimad Bhakti-vedanta Srila Goswami Maharaj. Simultaneously offer my humble respectful and pranam. Lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtutara Satasya Srimad Bhakti-vedanta Swami Maharaj, and Srila Guruvanda Goswami Maharaj and all senior devotees and all Vaishnava and Vaishnavis and presented all of my respectful guests. I am very happy to come to this yoga center. And yesterday we also spoke something about soul and supersoul, atma and paramatma. One thing I want to tell you, all we are searching happiness and blissfulness. Because this is our aim and object. Okay? Eating, sleeping, defending and meeting, this is the nature of the soul. Okay? All you are eating or not? Who did not eat today? All you ate? Okay. Then sleeping, we are also sleeping. Eating, sleeping. Defending, quarreling to each other, this is mine, this is yours. Okay? And also meeting with our friends and different ways we are enjoying also. But these four things are common in our human life and also animals. Yeah? This is true. But what is the meaning of a human life? Why we are saying we are animal? Hey, what is human? Human. Why? Because our scriptures explain, ahara nidra vaimudrancha samanna etud pusuvi narana. Dharma hi tesang adhika vishesa dharmena hina pusuvi samana. That means eating, sleeping, defending and meeting, these four things are common. In our human life also, animal. Just different ways we are eating, sleeping, defending and meeting, this is going on. But what is the speciality of human being? So our scripture is saying, dharma hi tesa. Here dharma means, if you not practice the spiritual thing, that is useless. Try to understand. And cats, dogs, animals, they are not practicing any spiritual things. No spiritual life there. We are human beings. We have to inquire about our soul, about our super soul. What is the nature of the soul? What is the nature of the super soul? We have to inquire. Because Lord, He gives us this inquisitive mood in the heart of human being. Well, this is true. Well, for this regard, modern science, they discover many things and invents and many things also. Yes? Because they have these types of intelligence, inquisitive mode. Inquisitive mode. Yesterday I told, one day I told, one boy, he was sitting under the tree. Apple tree. Then he noticed, one by one, apple falling on the ground and stayed away. He noticed why these fruits also falling down on the ground and stayed away at like 90-degree angle. Stayed. Not 60-degree angles, not 30-degree angles. Not going and up, not going this side or this side. Straight. Many years he researched these things also. Then finally he discovered, or this is called the law of gravitation. Yeah? Why I am saying this? Because we are human beings. We have to inquire. Who am I? Why have I come in this material world? Yeah? And after my death, where would I go? Yeah? This is very important. Then if I ask about your name, you say your body's name. This is your name. What is your name? Your body's name, this is true. But what is the name of your soul? Who resides this body? Body is working. Yesterday I told. Body and another is called dead body. When soul goes out this body, then we are saying this is called dead body. Then dead body is going to a cemetery and burning place, and we burn this. And when soul resides this body, that time we are embracing, kissing, so much love and affection. But we don't know that the soul. What is the nature of the soul? But we believe. And soul resides this body is working. And we make love and affection to each others. This is true. You love or not? But this love is very confidential things. We want love. So for this regard, and we are using this word, I love you. When you use this word, love, I love you, this word sound coming from our mouth, love, then our heart automatically will start to dance. This is true. But if you heard this word, I hate you, then your mind will be disturbed or not. This sound is very powerful also. Same sound, and one sound makes dance or heart, and another same sound is very happy. This is true. Sound is very powerful. In this material world, that sound is called material sound. Material sound. And another sound that is called transcendental sound. What is that? Transcendental sound. That is called Lord's holy names. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is called the transcendental vibration. This transcendental vibration touches our body, mind and also soul. Our material sound that touch our mind, not touch the soul. Because soul, that is called transcendental. Okay? So we discuss about the two things. One is called material sound, and is called transcendental sound. And Lord's name, God's name, this is called transcendental sound. And his name is God. What is the meaning of God? G-O-D. God. G means generator. Everything is manifested from him. That's called generator. That's called G. O means operator. And everything is also operated by him. We are thinking the automatic, actually automatic not possible. Electrical device is there. So for their door, open and sensitive. Open and close. Why this door is not automatic closing and opening? Because if that defines if that electronic device is not able. Okay? Remote control, different things we are using. Because modern science so much advanced. They discover many things. Okay? This is true. So, but transcendental sound, that vibration, is very powerful. The touch in our heart, touch our soul, and so much happiness comes. Yeah? Wealth, money, wife, children, this also gives some happiness. This is true. Yeah? He says, what do you want? Money. You want or not? What do you want? Happiness. This is true. But in this material happiness, temporarily giving our happiness, not permanently. Because in this material, everything is also giving the distress and unhappiness. But we discuss about transcendental happiness, and that is called permanent happiness. What do you want, temporary or permanent? What do you want?
Permanent.
Permanent. Not temporary?
No. That was a no. No more. No, so I'm okay. I'm good. Thanks a lot.
Temporary also coming this way. This is also wealth, money, wife, children. That's called our temporary. Giving, this is true. But simultaneously also Giving distress. But we discuss about permanent happiness. That is usual. If you chant holy names, then serve Guru and Vaishnava, then permanent happiness will come. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this vibration first manifested from the lotus feet of the Lord. And this Lord gives to this, gives to Brahmaji, who they created. And that word is coming Om. Yesterday I told them, what is your Om? And just you close your eyes and you chant this mantra, and so much energy automatically will come in the body. This is a yoga system. This is called Transcendental vibration. Just to sit and asana. There will be different kinds of asana. Asana means sitting position. Understand? This picture also very Buddha also showing how to sit. And we chant this mantra, then ordinary mind will come and quiet and peaceful. All your unhappiness, everything you are fulfilled. All kinds of your fatigueness, tiredness, automatically you are. Whole day you are working, hard work, but when you return back your home, then after taking shower, and then you sit and to chant this mantra. There is so much energy automatically. You practice yourself and realize that is your self-realization. It's called the best realization. Self-realization. And there is so much energy automatically. Yesterday too, because this is the nature of the soul. Soul he wants. How to meet with Supersoul. How to give the happiness. So for this we are saying, please wake up, wake up, wake up. Jeev jago, jeev jago. Uttishta jagrata prappo varano nigodat krusha dhara nishitta duratta durgam kathadat kavayo vadanti. Our Upanishad is Uttishta, please wake up. Then you say, well, I am not sleeping. But your atma, soul, is now in a fainted position. As like coma. So but you chant this mantra, then slowly you wake up. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the topmost mantra. Yesterday I told you, mantra dhyana, meditation of mantra. This is powerful, and automatically energy will come. In the beginning, just I used to step by step also explain to you. First you chant Om. Then also chant one mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Step by step, you can develop your bhajan and sadhana. Then realization will come. And so much happiness will come. And all kinds of tiredness and fatigue. And fatigue will be gone. So I request you, please everybody practice this yoga. There are also different yogas and they are practicing. This is good love. Actually all this is called the power of body. But how to develop your sadhana and then you practice and step by step come. This way. We accept this yoga because this body is called the full of distress, unhappiness and disease. Idam sariram vyadinam mandiram. This body is called the temple of disease. You have disease or not? Have you? Are you suffering any kind of disease? What do you do? Mostly, if you say, no, I am good health, but your mind problem or not?
Always.
Who is free from? Mental problem. Who has no mental problem? Raise one hand. Mind disturbs me. Sometimes you are thinking, my health is good, but my mind giving me trouble and distress. Mind disturbs. But first is because our scripture explains how to control your mind. How will you control your mind? If you not control your mind, then you will not happy. Because I have told you want happiness. Happiness. But first control your mind. But how will control your mind? Because mind is very flickering. As like wind. Going this way, this way, this way. Yatha vayu reva suduskaram. So, for this regard, Srimad Bhagavad-gita, Krishna says to Arjuna, Abhyas and Vairagya Vichate. Chanchalahi mana Krishna pramati bhalvadhira. Abhyas and Vairagya Vichate. Abhyas means practice. Vairagya means you can detach from the material things. This thing. Because our mind is always what? I already told. But again and again practice. Then you can control your mind. Our body is here. You are sitting here. But your mind traveling around the world without ticket, without passport, without visa. And again coming back and again going. Where are you going? Huh? Mind, where is he going? England, America, Australia, Iceland. Now Iceland. Seattle. Coming back. Again coming back and again going. But how to control your mind? And mind also sometimes thinking good and sometimes thinking bad also. This is true. Some bad conception coming. And sometimes good thoughts coming. So now our scripture explains how to control your mind. Abhyas and again practice. This is the thing. Just to give an example, once one king, he told to everybody, I have one goat. You know goat? If anybody completely fulfill that satisfied my goat, then I will give you vast of reward and prize. But if you not satisfied this my goal, next day I will take test. If you are not satisfied my goal, then I will give you heavy punishment. Then one person said, no problem, I will bring. So he brought that the goat in his house, and whole night he fed green grass to the goat. So goat was eating green grass. Then goat's stomach completely what? The next morning, he brought the goat in front of king. King, look, this now goat completely satisfied to eat the grass. Then king told, I will check. The goat completely satisfied or not. Then king offered some green grass in front of the goat. Then goat start to what? Eat. Because this is the nature. Then king become very angry. Oh, still my goat is not satisfied. He wants to eat all. Then king having chastised to him. Then one saintly person saw. He told, okay, give me. I will try to satisfy your goat. And so that saintly person, he brought that the goat in his place, and whole night he practiced something with the goat. The next morning he brought the goat in front of the king. Then king told, I am looking, the goat's stomach completely empty. The saintly person should first to take test. Your goat, he has an appetite to eat or not? When king offers some green grass in front of the goat, goat not eating. And just to return his face this way. And then central person he asked, hey, king asked, maybe you know some black magic. Why goat is not eating? That is central person he told, actually I don't know any kinds of black magic. Many people also make black magic. But central person actually he told, I don't know any kind of black magic. So king asked, why this goat is not eating? That time central person he told, O king, listen. When actually last night I brought to this goat in my place, I offered green grass to the goat. When goat was going to eat the green grass, then I took one stick and tried to eat. Hey, don't eat, don't eat. So in this way, whole night I practiced with the goat. And now you offer this green grass in front of the goat. Then goat is thinking maybe he will beat me. So for this regard, the goat turns his face. That is actual what is the purport about this story. Because all our senses, going to the object of the senses. You understand? All our senses automatically going to enjoy the object of the senses. Our eyes are going to have what the beautiful form. It's the nature. Our nose automatically what? Going. Collect the sweet smell. You wonder now? Sweet smell. Fresh air. Oh, I want to go out. In the mountain and in a fresh air. When you go top of the mountain, that time two hands raised this way as like bird. Two wings. This is true. You don't want to stay one place. You want to go face, very nice, beautiful, free land, free place. As like birds, they are flying over the sky and going. You wonder now. You don't want to stay one place. You want to fly. Go there. Why I am singing? Because all our senses automatically going to enjoy the object of the senses. Our ears. What do you want? Listen, sweet melody. This is true. Our ears. One. Then for this regard sometimes you are putting headphones and put in many kinds of song. Then I don't know what kinds of songs we are singing. Disco song. According to your taste, you are in.
Or looking for girlfriend to see I love you, I love you. That wants to see I love you, you know.
लड़की के पीछे.
This is the nature. What's the reason? But how to control your mind? This is the thing. So for this guy told this story of this. And when you think, I have to concentrate my mind to Lord. Because God is called embodiment of love. Embodiment of God, divine love. Love is God, God is love. God is the embodiment of divine love. And Bible very clearly explains this. Love is God, God is embodiment of love. If you love to God, then you love to everybody. You understand? But I'm saying these things. This is a philosophy. If you don't love to God, or you love to others, that is called not perfect love. That time you cheat or be cheat. Okay? So for this you have to explain this way. Love to God. Okay? But how will you love to God? Chant holy names. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody chant with me, just 5 minutes, not more. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. I don't take too much of time. Lord gives us everything. But what things we will give to Lord? What do we give to Lord? Do you understand? Lord gives us food, air, water, and
digestion.
Ability
to digest.
Ability to digest. That is it. Then when you born from your womb of mother, you did not bring anything. Then Lord gives us everything. Is it true? Then Lord giving His water or not? Then Lord is giving air. Without air, we cannot live. Then food, everything God is giving. But what things will give to God? Lord is saying, just to chant my holy names, I am very happy. You understand? Then you saying, I have no time to chant holy names. Then day and night, how many hours? 24 hours. Lord saying, give me just 20 minutes. Then 23 hours, 40 minutes you can engage for yourself. Just to give me how many? 20 minutes. Then morning 10 minutes and evening 10 minutes. You can give another. We are eating, sleeping, doing many things. What our scriptures explain. Just give me, Lord says, just give me how many minutes? 20 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes you can give also. Understand? Just one round chant holy name. Because Lord's name is very powerful and so much happiness will come. And all your sinful activity destroyed from your heart also. You are theist or atheist, this is not our subject. But you chant Lord's name, Lord will be very happy. Because already told, He is called God. Already I explained. G means generator. G-O-D. G means generator. O means operator. Or D means He destroys everything. He creates, He maintains, and He destroys. This thing. So Lord is thinking, what will give to me? He gives just you love. How will you love? Chant my names. So I request you, please chant Lord's holy names and be happy. Because I will tell. This is our subject, how to become happy. So think, chant holy names, be happy. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is called actual bhakti yoga. You know, you are practicing many kinds of yoga, this is true. And this is good for your body and health. But if you chant bhakti yoga, okay, if you practice bhakti yoga, you have to just chant Lord's holy names. Only 5 minutes morning and 5 minutes evening. Okay, 10 minutes. First I told over 20 minutes. We have 20 minutes. Too much for you. And 5 minutes and chant Lord's holy names. Okay? And then you realize so much happiness will come. And automatically all kinds of tiredness, fatigueness automatically, because this is called maha-mantra. Mantra means a mystic power. This is it. So I request you, please, everybody chant Lord's holy name. Thanks, I will not take too much of time. Already our time is over. Then if you want, so you can take this Japamala. Because we brought this, and you chant this. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thanks, Hare Krishna. Are you prepared? Yeah.
So now we will have prasad, vegetarian food, and we will put the mattresses. We can all sit in lines and we will distribute. So don't go away immediately.
Who wants to take the Japamala? Please come. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You know how to chant this?
Do you know how to chant? Start from one side, and then you go to the finger to the other side. If you like a spiritual
You bring the card?
no. If you want to accept my spiritual consciousness, it will give you spiritual chant like a spiritual person. Radha Rani Devi Dasi ki jai.